Hello, hello. Welcome to the studio. I'm so excited that you are with me. So this is going to be our restore strength exercise. We're using the total full body today. You're going to need a set of light weights. You're going to need a yoga block or a pillow and also a sponge ball. So we're going to start in a standing position. We're going to stretch out through the side of the body. So I want you to bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips. You're going to bend your knees a little bit, and then you're going to send your arms up towards the ceiling, and we're going to start to lean over to one side, back up, and over to the other side, and back up. So hands can come together here, or you can leave those arms apart. I want you to stretch as far as you can over. You're going to lift your rib cage up as high as you can up off of your hips. Totally okay if your shoulders come up to your ears. I want you to stretch your arms up towards the ceiling, and you're just getting that nice stretch through your rib cage. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to go 2 more each, and go 1 more each. And then we're going to bring our arms all the way down by our sides standing, and we're going to lift the shoulders up and go around in a circle. So you're going to pinch the shoulders up to your ears, pull the shoulders back, circle, up and around, up and around. Just getting those shoulders warm because we are going to do a little bit of arms today. And then you're going to reverse those circles, breathing it out here, letting those shoulders be heavy as you're rolling forward. Go 3 and 2, last one, and rest. So again, your feet can be a little bit wider than your hips. If you want to walk your feet out a little bit wider and turn your toes out, what we're going to do is a little stretch for the legs and the hips, just like we did with the shoulders. So we're going to go side to side. I want you to reach down. Now you can use your yoga block here and bring it forward in front of you. Bring your hands either down on the yoga block, or you can bring them all the way down to the floor. And you're just going to shift your hips side to side as you bend one knee and then bend the other knee. All right. So again, you can hold on to the yoga block, but I want you to shift your hips all the way to one side and try to stretch out through the side of your hip and all the way to the other side. So you may need to play around with the foot position here. You can keep your toes pointing forward, or you can turn your toes out. Whatever feels best for you. If you turn the toes out, you may even get like a little inner thigh stretch going. We're going to go 2 more times here. Go 1 more each. Awesome. And then bring your hands back forward. Let your head drop down. I'm going to have you bend your knees and straighten your legs. All right, so hands are on top of the block or on the floor, and you're just bending and straightening the legs. Bend and straighten, and see if you can bring your hips down towards the floor as you're bending and straightening those legs. Go 3 more times, nice and slow. Go 2, and go 1 more time. And then you're going to slowly roll up your spine, stacking it up 1 bone at a time. Come all the way up to a standing position. All right, so we are going to get into the balance work a little bit. I am going to have you use your yoga block, and where we're going to start is a kneeling position with the one knee down on the block, and the other leg's going to come forward. So we're going to stretch out through your hip flexors on that back leg here. So I'm going to have you reach the arms up towards the ceiling, and you're going to push your hips forward. So knee is either going to stay on the yoga block. If you're not putting the knee down on the yoga block, you can come up to a standing position. Just try to tack that heel down, and everyone's going to hold here, and you're going to try to keep bending through that front knee and pushing the hips forward to stretch here. So we're stretching out through the quads and the hip flexors through that back leg. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to reach the arms forward in front of us. And I want you to see if you can push your hips forward far enough standing into that front leg. And you're going to come all the way up to a standing position. All right. And then you're going to come all the way back down, touch the knee down onto the block, and then come back up, touch the knee down, and come back up. So again, this is totally balanced. If you are not dropping the knee down onto the block, you may just bring the foot back and then come back forward, bring the foot back and then come back forward. That's another good modification if you need it. Can't look towards you or come off balance. We're going to go 3 more times. Try to sink your knee down towards the block. Maybe it doesn't get there. All right, so finish up on your last one. Okay, and then I want you to come up to a standing position. So what we're going to do is the exact same thing on the other side, right? So moving the block here, we're going to do the other leg. So this should be the other knee down on the block. You'll push your hips forward in front of you, and we're going to stretch out the other side of our leg here. So reaching those arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Again, if you're not bringing your knee down, you're just coming up and trying to sink the heel down. Maybe you want to try both, and that's fine too. Everyone is going to try to push our hips forward, bending that front knee, and make sure that that knee stays over your heel here. So if you feel like your knee's coming all the way to your toes, I'm actually going to have you wiggle your foot out more and then push your hips forward. And that's going to give more of a stretch through the front of the quads and the hip flexors where we need it. So we're going to reach the arms forward, all right? Push forward in through that front leg, through that front heel. Take your time on this. You are going to come up to a standing position, bringing both of those legs together, both of the feet together. And then again, you can bring your leg back. You can drop the knee down, find the block with your knee, and then come back into that standing position. Or you're just bringing that foot back. You can step over the block. The block is there. It's intentional because I want you to use this as a big step back and a big step forward to challenge your balance. All right, and then a little bonus if you can bring that knee down each time, and that way you get a little bit more of a challenge, but you also get that nice stretch through the quads and hips. Go one more time. Awesome, and rest. All right, one more balance exercise. We are going to use the block again. So if I'm standing in the middle of my mat, I'm going to bring my block to one side of me, and I'm standing still in the middle of my mat. All right. You're going to be about a little bit further away from the block. So the block's going to be a little bit in front of you. We're going to keep the feet together to our starting position. I want you to push your hips back. I don't want you to feel like you have to be in a big squat down. I just want those hips back. All right. So you're in a flat position here with the spine. And then from here, we're going to try to reach our foot all the way over towards the block and come back in. So there's speed skaters right here. Arms can be out in front of you, or arms can be out wide to the side, whatever feels best for you for balance here. We're totally loaded on that standing leg, and then you're reaching all the way to that block. Maybe you get there, maybe you don't. But I want you to challenge yourself and to stretch your leg all the way out, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in. 2 more. 1 more time. Awesome. All right, little stabilizer burn. Should feel that. And then we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. So if you're in the middle of your mat, and then you're bringing that block out to the other side, you're going to bend through the knees, and then again, push your hips back like there's an imaginary chair behind you. And you're going to reach the leg all the way to that block. Bonus points if you can even get it past the block. That may even have you to sit down into the chair a little bit more, into that squat. Go 5 more. And 4. Last 3. And 2. Go 1 more time. Awesome. And rest. All right. Last little balance that we'll get into. No equipment here. We're just going to do a little bit through the feet and the ankles. So again, whatever feels best for you to find your core, find your balance with the arms. You can bring your hands forward out in front of you. You can bring your hands together. We're just going to lift up onto our toes and rock back into our heels. Stay in a parallel position here. So we're keeping those toes facing forward. You're going to rise up and then rock back. Inhale as you rise up. And exhale as you rock back. Just slow down the breath work here. In a minute, we're going to come down to the mat. All the way up, all the way back. Go 2 more times. And go 1 more time. Getting those feet. Awesome. Bend the knees a little bit, and then you're going to come down onto the mat. We are going to come down onto hands and knees. If you're not coming down and putting pressure on the knees, you can do this one standing. If you need to grab a pillow and put it underneath your knees, you can. You'll grab your weights. Onto hands and knees here. You're going to grab one of your weights. We're going to pull the elbow all the way up, and then we're going to shoot back into our triceps here. So you're going to bend, kick back, bend, kick back. And you're keeping that elbow as close to the side, close in towards your side as you can. So think of your elbow squeezing into your rib cage. Try to square off the shoulders here. And then also try to keep your abdominals contracted as if your back is going to stay as flat as a tabletop. Go one more. Awesome. Now you're going to bring that weight down and you're going to reach your thumb. We're doing the same arm here. You're going to reach your thumb up towards the sky and then bring it back down. Do that again, lifting up as high as you can and then bringing it back down. So watch on this one that as you lift that arm up, you're trying to pull your shoulder blade down and try to connect through the back of your lats back there. So your big lat muscles, they start at your armpit and go all the way down your low back. So if you can think about when you lift the arm up, it's not so much as your traps doing the job, but it's all the way down your shoulder blade, all the way down your lat. Go one more time. Awesome. And then you're going to give yourself a little break. So you can push yourself back into a child's pose and kind of sit there. You can also just do a little rock if you need to, forward and back. Let's just do this about 10 times. You can maybe hold in child's pose if you want to just let your shoulders rest for a sec. 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to do the other side. All right. Other arm, you start with the weight here. Other hand stays underneath the shoulder. You pull that elbow in, and then you reach all the way back. Bend, reach back, and bend. So I like doing these on all fours. I mean, totally fine if you're doing this standing. But it really helps to challenge where you are in space, right? Your balance. So if you're working only with one arm and finding that isolation, your entire body and your core has to turn on to help compensate, right? So just keep in mind that your body is trying to compensate and where you need to put any pressure, right? Like maybe a little bit more pressure into the right side if you're using that right arm. Bring the weight all the way down and you're reaching the thumb up and down. Reaching up towards the ceiling. I want you to reach out as well, but just watch what I was mentioning earlier about your traps. Try to keep the shoulders down away from your ears. Plug the shoulder blade in so that way you can work from your back instead of that shoulder. We're going to go 5 more here. 4, 3, go 2 more times, and go 1 more time. And then you'll do that child's pose again, pushing those hips back. Or you can do the rocks again. You can rock forward, rock back. Either way, we're going to hold here, or you're rocking for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come back up to hands and knees. We're going thread the needle. So this is just a stretch that we'll take and hold. So you're going to reach one arm underneath the other one. If you're not on hands and knees, you're just doing a crisscross over. It's kind of essentially the same stretch, right? So you're holding in this stretch. I want you to see if you can get the ear all the way down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and try to relax your head down and your shoulders down. 5 more counts here. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you'll switch sides. Threading that arm underneath, pulling that ear all the way down, pulling the head down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming back up. Alrighty, you're going to come to a seated position. If you want to sit on your yoga block, might as well. We have it. So when you're ready, you can come to a seated position, or you can sit on top of the yoga block. The legs are going to be in a comfortable seated position. Arms are going to be long by your side. Let's close the eyes here. Keep your shoulders as heavy as you can. So if you need to kind of shake out the arms, shake out the shoulders a bit. And then with your eyes closed, I want you to tuck your chin to your chest, draw those abdominals in, and think about growing up as tall as you can. We're going to shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to drop the shoulders down nice and heavy. Do that 2 more times. Take a nice deep inhale. Shrug those shoulders up, and an exhale, dropping those shoulders down, and go 1 more time, all the way up with your shoulders. And your inhale, hold for 5 counts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop those shoulders down, letting out that tension. Nice work, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed class. You feel nice and rejuvenated. I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much.